Niger. Al-Qaeda offshoot in play. A detailed report as to what really happened when the terror attack took place in Niger. All this and much more on this edition of This Is Exclusive. But up first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Jammu and Kashmir national Ranjeet Singh abducted by Al-Qaeda offshoot in Niger. Family speaks to Republic, appeals for government intervention on priority. Republic blows the lid off not one but multiple online betting app scams. Big celebrities and top names from the entertainment and sporting world under the Enforcement Directorate's scanner. The Bombay High Court acquits all 12 convicts in the 2006 Mumbai train blast, sets aside their death penalties and life terms. Impeachment proceedings against Justice Yashwant Verma set in motion. 50 NDA MPs back the move. Before I bring you our two special stories, I'm starting this edition with some breaking news coming in. This is with regards to an Air India flight AI 2403 operating from Delhi to Kolkata, originally scheduled to depart around 4:30 this evening, has been pushed back but returned to the bay due to a technical issue that has been related to the aircraft's rudder control system. As per the initial inputs from the Delhi hub, the aircraft performed a low-speed rejected takeoff before returning safely. All passengers and crew are safe. In fact, today, two incidents have been linked to Air India. The first now coming in from the Delhi-Kolkata Air India flight, which was about to take off, has now been rejected due to technical snag. Earlier today, another Air India A320 flight had veered off the runway in Mumbai from runway number 27. We are also going to get you fresh details coming in from the preliminary information submitted by the airline to DGCA. In fact, we have also got fresh images of the damages that have been sustained by the aircraft. In fact, first, let me get you the details of the Air India flight which was to land in Kolkata, Delhi-Kolkata Air India flight, which has now been grounded after a technical snag that has been reported. The details I'll just quickly take you through before I go across to our aviation correspondent Harsha getting us the latest details. In fact, this flight has returned to the bay due to technical issue. Air India flight number AI 2403 operating from Delhi to Kolkata, that was scheduled to depart around 4:30 this evening, returned to the bay due to a technical issue that's related to the aircraft's rudder control system. Now, the aircraft performed a low-speed rejected takeoff before returning safely. We are given to understand all passengers are safe. We'll try and see if we can go across to Harsha, who's joining us on this broadcast, getting us the latest details. The Delhi-Kolkata Air India flight, which has now been grounded after technical snag. Well, in fact, before I take you through some more details coming in with regards to the latest episode linked to Air India, earlier today, Air India's flight from Calicut to Mumbai. In fact, what happened this morning was that it had veered off the runway. Let me just quickly take you through some of the details that we have. This is the runway number 27 in Mumbai, where Air India flight, which had taken off from Calicut, landed in Mumbai. This was amidst adverse weather conditions, and this, what we are given to understand, this is the exact area where the aircraft veered away. It's the right wheel of the aircraft that veered away and moved into an unpaved structure that you see on your screens right now. That's the landing, and it moves towards the right hand side. In fact, this is a new aircraft which was earlier with Vistara. That's the Airbus 320 Neo, which has been operated by Air India, landed amid adverse weather conditions. Questions are also being raised about the role of the ATC, allowing the aircraft to basically land amidst absolute adverse weather conditions. In fact, it turns out that it has sustained serious damages, the aircraft's right engine cowling being one such, and the undercarriage has been completely damaged, is what we are being told. This is after the engineering inspection that has been done, and that's the preliminary report coming in. Let me also go across to my colleague Harsha, who's joining us on this broadcast. Harsha, first I want to begin by asking you with regards to the Air India Delhi-Kolkata flight, what details are you getting in? Meanwhile, we'll also put out the details of the report that we have now accessed. That's the preliminary assessment report of the flight that landed in Mumbai. First, with regards to the Kolkata flight.
So, Shawan, it was the flight which was scheduled to take off at 5:30 p.m. IST from Delhi International Airport, Delhi to Kolkata, Air India. And this is also one we are speaking about, is also Air India 320 Airbus, which was scheduled to take off, but it couldn't take off because as soon as it reached the runway, it was rejected because the takeoff was rejected by the ATC because there was some technical issue. As pilot mentioned to the ATC, there was the aircraft rudder control system. The rudder control system in the tire was a problematic technical error, because of which immediately the flight was suspended and the flight was not allowed to take off. Immediately the flight turned around and also aircraft went to the isolation bay. They're right now fixing the technical snag as what would have happened, and because during a maintenance check there was no issue with the aircraft rudder control system, pilot immediately saw that there's a problem with the aircraft rudder control system, because there was a problem during takeoff. It was not taking up, it was very low flying, and that's the reason pilot immediately informed it about to the ATC, and takeoff was immediately suspended. Right now all the passengers have been safely taken to the have been deported from the aircraft, and aircraft is being maintained right now. It has went to the repairing, and the initial details have been shared with the regulatory body by Air India. Soon more information on this will come, and passenger substitute flight would be arranged for the passengers. And there's a second incident in the Air India aircraft of technical snag. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. In fact, two such incidents that have been reported today coming in from Air India. Tonight, this story comes to you from Niger's volatile Dosso region, where a brutal terrorist attack has shattered lives and left a family completely in despair. On 15th of July, 2 Indian nationals were killed and another, Ranjeet Singh, was abducted. Far from the conflict zone in the quiet village of Chakkakundi in Jammu and Kashmir, a family awaits in anguish, grappling with the sudden loss of contact and the agonizing silence that followed. As the Indian government races against time to secure Ranjeet's release and the nation watches with a bated breath, we bring you the full story, exploring the escalating dangers in Niger, the desperate pleas of a heartbroken family, and the questions surrounding the company's response. Here's a full report.
In Niger's conflict-ravaged Dosso region, a terrorist attack on the 15th of July has claimed the lives of 2 Indian nationals and left another, Ranjeet Singh, abducted. The victims, working at a power project site 140 kilometers away from the capital, Niamey, were ambushed by unidentified gunmen. The Indian Embassy in Niger is coordinating with local authorities to repatriate the bodies of the deceased and secure Ranjeet Singh's safe release. Singh had been in regular contact with his family since leaving India in 2023. But on the day of the attack, the family lost contact post 2:46 p.m. in the afternoon. Back home, in the Chakkakundi village of Ramban in Jammu and Kashmir, a distraught family is making desperate appeals.
माता जी, आपकी आखिरी बार बात कब हुई थी उनसे?
15 तारीख को।
क्या मतलब नॉर्मल बात थी?
हाँ, नॉर्मली किया था। क्या बना रहे थे, क्या कर रहे थे। हाँ, फिर वो चला गया, वो नेटवर्क नहीं आ रहा था, हमारे साथ बात नहीं हुई। हम फिर परेशान हो गए, कहाँ गया हमारा बेटा, क्यों नहीं नेटवर्क आ रहा है। वो कंपनी से गया, वीज़ा बना के चला गया, तो उधर बोलने लगा, वो कनेक्ट हो गया। हमें क्या पता है कहाँ कनेक्ट हुआ, कहाँ नहीं है, हमें कोई पता थोड़ा है। सरकार से हमारी मदद है, हमें मदद करे सरकार। मोदी जी सबसे बड़ा है, मोदी भी हमारी मदद करे।
Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has urged the External Affairs Ministry to intervene urgently. This is not the first such incident. In April, 5 Indian workers from Jharkhand employed by Kalparatu Power Transmission Limited were kidnapped in Niger's Tillaberi region during an attack that killed 12 soldiers. Their whereabouts remain unknown. Niger has been battling a jihadi insurgency linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State, a crisis that has worsened since the 2023 military coup. Foreigners, including aid workers and Indian nationals, are increasingly being targeted. The Indian government has advised its citizens in Niger to remain vigilant and is working to ensure the safe release of all abducted nationals. But for families back home, the wait is agonizing.
आज तकरीबन हफ्ते से ज़्यादा तकरीबन हफ्ता हो गया है।
कोई गौर नहीं है।
कोई कुछ बताया कंपनी वालों ने क्या हुआ?
कुछ नहीं।
बाकी जगहों से क्या पता चला?
बाकी जगहों से भाई कहीं ले गए, मिलिटेंट ले गए, गुंडे ले गए, पता नहीं।
सरकार से आप क्या कहेंगे?
सरकार करेगी मदद तो यही कहते हैं, अर्ज करते हैं सरकार को कि भाई मोदी जी ने पहले भी इंडिया से बाहर गए थे, विदेशों में तो छुड़ा कर लाए थे।
The company, Transrail Lighting Limited, has been misleading family members as they failed to provide any clear communication. And it was only after their efforts that the company reached out to them. Repeated calls to the company's HR by Republic TV since this morning have gone unanswered, and questions on mail are yet to be seen.
जो कंपनी थी जो कि वहाँ पे ट्रांसमिशन इंडस्ट्री में थे, कंपनी ऑफिशियल्स आपको अभी तक क्या बता रहे हैं?
पहले तो उन्होंने मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन देने में काफ़ी टाइम लगाया, मेरी फैमिली को इन्फॉर्म किया, लेकिन मुझे बस यही बताया कि आपके हस्बैंड जंगल की ओर भाग गए हैं अफरा तफरी में, तो हम उनको सर्च करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। लेकिन मैंने बहुत कोशिश की, कंपनी उतना एफर्ट्स नहीं लगा रही है। मैं यहाँ से कोशिश करती हूँ, मैं कॉल्स करती हूँ तो ही कुछ बताते हैं, नहीं तो वहाँ से बताने की उतना नहीं करते हैं, एफर्ट्स बिल्कुल भी नहीं लगाते हैं। मेरी भारत सरकार से, मेरी हर किसी से जो भी मेरी ये बात सुन रहा है और विदेश मंत्रालय से यही अपील है कि मेरे हस्बैंड, जिनका नाम रंजीत सिंह है, वो सीनियर सेफ्टी ऑफिसर एज वहाँ पे काम कर रहे थे, 15 जुलाई से लापता हैं। मुझे उनका कोई भी क्लू नहीं है, कोई ऐसा मतलब इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है कि वो किस हालत में है, कैसे हैं। मैं सबसे यही अपील करती हूँ, सभी मंत्रालय से, गृह मंत्रालय से, मोदी जी से, जितेंद्र जी से, कि उनको सेफली घर लाया जाए। मैं चाहती हूँ कि वो सेफली घर आ जाएँ, मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए। मेरे छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, मेरे जो सास ससुर हैं वो काफ़ी एज्ड हैं, मैं उनको नहीं संभाल पा रही हूँ। मैं खुद को संभालूँ, उनको संभालूँ, मैं एक अकेले दिन भर उनको, बच्चों को अकेला छोड़ के आती हूँ। मेरी सरकार से यही अपील है कि मेरे हस्बैंड को सेफली घर लाया जाए, हर प्रकार की कोशिश की जाए उनसे, मुझे बस एक बार बात करवा दी जाए। मैं और कुछ नहीं चाहती हूँ इस समय, बस मैं अपने हस्बैंड की सुरक्षा चाहती हूँ और मैं सरकार से ये अपील करती हूँ कि उनको सेफली घर लाया जाए।
A family clings to hope, their prayers echoing across borders for Ranjeet's safe return.
Well, picking up some more breaking updates on this very story, sources say that the Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin terror group is suspected to be behind the attack on 15th of July, which subsequently led to the kidnapping of Ranjeet Singh. Now, this group is linked to the Al-Qaeda. It was formed in Mali in 2017 as a coalition of 5 jihadist terrorist groups. JNIM is led by Iliad Ghali, a former Malian diplomat linked to the Tuareg ethnic group. The group rejects the authority of the Sahel government and demands to impose its strict interpretation of Islam and Sharia. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first big confirmation coming in that an Al-Qaeda offshoot, Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam. Let's just put this out. It's an Al-Qaeda offshoot that's behind the abduction of an Indian national in Niger. In fact, we have reached out to the Ministry of External Affairs hoping for some sort of a confirmation to come in and whether at all the government has been successful in getting details about Ranjeet Singh's whereabouts. Let me also go across to my colleague Gurshiprat, who is getting us the latest details. He's also spoken to the Deputy Commissioner of the area. In fact, the latest now coming in that MOS Jitendra Singh has now written a letter to the Ministry of External Affairs hoping for some sort of an intervention from the Indian government. Let me also go across to my colleague Gurshipran, who's getting us the latest details. And let me also take you through some of the details with regards to this particular group that you see, Al-Qaeda's terror footprint in Niger. This is an offshoot, part of the 5 jihadist groups that have come together. Gurshipran, you've spoken to the DC as well as the family members. First, with regards to what really happened and the fact that this is an Al-Qaeda offshoot, how serious is the situation?
See, Shawan, if we go by the investigation that has been carried out so far by the Niger Intelligence Agency, this is their homeland security that looks after their internal security and their security services group that looks after the internal investigation. They were first, earlier they were looking into the IS angle, they were looking into the Lukwara and the EGIS group that are affiliated to the IS, but now the investigation, what they have conducted so far, hints the clear hand of the JNIM, that is the Jamaat Nusratul Islam wal Muslimin group that is affiliated to the Al-Qaeda, because in the Sahel region, that is between the Sahara Desert and the savannas, here after the rise of the Boko Haram and then we saw the Islamic State, the West Africa, they split into this region, and now what is happening that near the Chad Lake area, now the presence of JNIM is increasing with each passing day. If we speak of last 1 month, the data reveals that in the Mali, from where the JNIM started, it has carried out more than a dozen attacks, and now it is expanding its area to the Niger. They are carrying out the multiple attacks, back-to-back attack, and the day when the attack in the Niger has taken place, 5 attacks were carried out by the JNIM in the Mali region. So it is very clear that in these countries of the Africa, the JNIM, which is a jihadi group, a conglomerate of 5 jihadi groups coming together in 2017 to actually establish the Sharia law in this very area, they are carrying out the attacks. Now the reason behind this could be that their modus operandi is almost similar to what the IS West Africa is actually doing. They are providing security and food to the people, to the establishment that are carrying out the work there. So that might be one of the reasons.
Right. In fact, we've also reached out to the Ministry of External Affairs. They have told us that they've issued a statement 3 days ago and they have nothing more to add. The reality is that the government of India will certainly have to wake up to what the family members are essentially indicating, that the matter has become extremely serious, hoping that there would be some sort of a resolution. Thank you very much, Gurshipran, for getting us the latest details. Ladies and gentlemen, online betting app scams have emerged as a significant threat in the digital age, exploiting the popularity of online gambling and lax regulatory oversight to defraud millions of users globally. These scams typically involve unregistered or offshore platforms that lure users with promises of high returns, quick payouts, and attractive bonuses only to manipulate outcomes, siphon funds, or launder money through complex mechanical and financial networks. Operating under the guise of legitimate gaming or sports betting apps, these platforms often violate the local laws. Tonight, we bring you details of 3 such scams currently making headlines and exclusive breaking inputs. In fact, these scams. Let's first get you the breaking update on the 1x betting app scam. The Enforcement Directorate is intensifying its probe into the illegal 1x betting app scam, summoning Indian cricketers Suresh Raina and Shikhar Dhawan for questioning over their alleged endorsements of the banned platform. However, both the cricketers failed to appear for the scheduled questioning, prompting the ED to consider issuing fresh summons as part of its ongoing investigation into the violations of the Information Technology Act. In fact, this is also part of the FEBA, where we are given to understand that they have basically called in for questioning of the cricketers. Not just one particular app linked to the 1x bet scam are the following actors as well as cricketers who have now been called in for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's also bring you more overview into what this scam is. The 1xBet betting app scam involves an illegal online betting platform operating under the surrogate names like 1xBat to circumvent Indian laws. The Enforcement Directorate's investigation, expanded in 2025, revealed that the 1xBet used rigged algorithms, classifying it as a gambling operation rather than a skill-based game. The platform employed deceptive tactics such as QR codes and web links in advertisements to redirect the users to their illegal platform. The scam, in fact, is part of a broader illegal betting industry in India valued at over $100 billion annually, with 11 crore daily users. The Enforcement Directorate's probe into the 1xBet is linked to the larger Mahadev betting app scam, where 1xBet's promoters facing extradition from Dubai created subsidiary apps like Fair Play to expand their operations. Now let's also take you through case 2, the Fair Play betting app scam, a prominent case of illegal online betting and money laundering, with the Enforcement Directorate estimating the scam's proceeds of over 4,000 crore rupees to about 13,000 crore rupees. Fair Play, an unregistered platform in India, illegally streamed IPL matches and facilitated the betting scam on sports. The scam, masterminded by Krish Lakshmi Chand Shah, Chirag Shah and Chintan Shah, involved laundering funds through 400 dummy bank accounts and bogus import-export transactions, with money funneled to shell companies in Dubai and Malta. The Enforcement Directorate's 2025 charge sheet revealed that Fair Play returned 70% of the collected hands to players to maintain engagement, retaining-ship of about 30% as profit. The app employed high-profile celebrities, including Bollywood stars like Ranbir Kapoor, Shraddha Kapoor, Sanjay Dutt, Krish Shah, who sold 70% of the Fair Play to Mahadev betting app promoters in 2023, still remains absconding. And finally, case number 3, the Hyderabad betting app scam involving Rana Raghubati, centers on allegations that the actor, along with 28 other celebrities and as well as influencers, promoted illegal online betting platforms, leading to significant financial losses for the users. The Enforcement Directorate registered a case under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act following an FIR that was first filed by the Cyberabad police, prompted by a complaint from businessman Sharma on 19th of March 2025. Now, he alleged that celebrities endorsed apps through pop-up ads and social media, misleading vulnerable individuals, particularly from the middle class as well as lower class, into investing in these platforms, resulting in financial distress and, in some cases, suicides. The Enforcement Directorate has already summoned Raghubati to appear on 23rd of July to investigate potential money laundering tied to these promotions. Well, in fact, that's all that we could have packed in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up, trending with my colleague Akanksha.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IAHM.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
By the way, I am quite sure political सवाल तो पूछूंगा ही, राष्ट्रवादी मंच है, न्यूज का मंच भी है, आप अमेठी वापस आएंगे कि नहीं?
बात कहूँ, आप ये सवाल मुझसे सालों साल से पूछते आ रहे हैं।
मैं नहीं पूछ रहा, आप लोग नहीं पूछ रहे ये सवाल।
वो तो तालियां बजा रहे हैं, सवाल आप पूछ रहे हैं।
अगली बार स्वीट रिवेंज होगी कि नहीं होगी?
मैं दर्शक जितने यहाँ बैठे हैं, आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट सभी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स हैं।
जी
सबकी कहीं ना कहीं नौकरियां हैं
जी।
अगर आप लगातार अपनी नौकरी में 11 साल से ढंग से काम ना कर पाए तो क्या आपकी नौकरी रहेगी? उनकी है, इतना पावरफुल उनका इकोसिस्टम है।
नहीं, आप नौकरी लेने वाले हैं कि नहीं अगली बार? सवाल ये
नहीं, मैं आपको बड़ा गंभीर एक मुद्दा बता।
नहीं, मैं सीरियस सवाल
वो कैसे सर्वाइव।
ये वायरल मोमेंट है, आपको कहना पड़ेगा, आपको कमिटमेंट देनी पड़ेगी।
आप और मैं मंच पे आते हैं, वही वायरल मोमेंट है। और अगर आपको ग्लोबल वायरल मोमेंट बनाना है तो आप में और मध्य में मिस्टर गांधी हो जाएं तो फिर
गांधी जी के साथ में, ये राहुल बाबा के साथ 2014 में मैं बैठा था, तो मैं तो चुप रहा पूरे इंटरव्यू।
मैं तो ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि पीछे से इशारे कौन कर रहा था कि क्या
इशारों की जरूरत नहीं है, वो अपने आप को इशारा करते हैं, वही एक इशारा है। वो तो कहते हैं मैं जिस दिन मैं जन्म, जो व्यक्ति ऐसे में मुद्दे से अलग जा रहा है,
आप मुद्दे से भटक,
जो व्यक्ति कहता है भारत, नहीं इस मुद्दे पर
मैं उसी मुद्दे पे
नहीं, उन्होंने दो बातें कही है। उन्होंने कही है,
आप इतना भावुक है राहुल जी के बारे में,
मैंने भावुक नहीं हूँ, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि उन्होंने कहा जिस दिन मेरा जन्म हुआ, हमारा जन्म किसी घर में होता है, किसी है ना, किसी कम्युनिटी समाज में होती है। वो कहते हैं जिस दिन मेरा जन्म हुआ, मैं सिस्टम में जन्म हुई है मेरी। मैं समझ नहीं पाया, वो कहते जिस दिन मैं जन्म हुई है।
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
इस साल का जो प्रॉफिट है इंटरेस्ट पे डाल देंगे, हर महीने ब्याज का पैसा आता रहेगा।
अगर रेगुलर इनकम ही चाहिए तो आप वो पैसे फिक्स्ड इनकम फंड्स में डाल दो।
वो क्या होता है?
फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए ब्याज देने वाली कंपनी बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स और मनी मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। सिस्टमैटिक विथड्रॉवल प्लान से आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी आता रहेगा।
म्यूचुअल फंड में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
पूरी दुनिया ने भारत की सैन्य शक्ति का, भारत के सैन्य के सामर्थ्य का रूप देखा है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया। आतंकियों के आकाओं के घर में जाकर के 22 मिनट के भीतर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के तहत उसको जमींदोज कर दिया गया। और मैंने बिहार की एक कार्यक्रम में इसकी घोषणा की थी, जो हमारी सैन्य शक्ति ने बहुत ही कम समय में सिद्ध करके दिखा दिया। और इसमें मेड इन इंडिया सैन्य शक्ति का ये नया स्वरूप, इस पर भी दुनिया बहुत आकर्षित हुई है। इन दिनों विश्व के जिन जिन लोगों से मिलना होता है तो भारत के इस मेड इन इंडिया,
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
television, trending stories are breaking the internet. In fact, tonight we are starting off with the biggest trending story of the week. Coldplay warning people to be camera ready after that whole kiss cam saga that took place last week. A Kedarnath tour guide who has cracked IIT exam. I will speak to him live on Republic TV. And Trump has issued a threat again. And no, this is not a tariff threat this time. This is a threat to derail a deal for the NFL team in the United States. And we will show you the concerning visuals also coming in of a massive fire at a ship in Indonesia. And of course, the world is asking, where is the Annabelle doll? The demonic doll has gone missing. Whereas not just this, the F-35 jet is finally ready to take off. And this is trending. I'm Akanksha Khajuria. Let's get started. And starting with one of the biggest trending story making waves online following the astronomer, former CEO Andy Byron viral moment from Coldplay's concert. The company has taken a decision to send its CEO on a leave. And the whole saga has, of course, led to many rumors. It started with the apology letter sent by the former CEO, which eventually turned out to be false. But the one which has got people talking is the divorce rumors between Andy and his wife. And if Andy's Coldplay Kiss Sam saga ends in divorce, he could end up paying as much as Jeff Bezos paid in his last divorce. Now, according to the local laws, Meghan, Andy's wife, could take home half of his husband's net worth, which is estimated anywhere between $20 million to $70 million. And amid all this, Coldplay frontman Chris Martin has issued a cheeky warning to fans at the next show. Be camera ready is what he said. His light-hearted remarks had the Madison crowd in splits. Watch this.
We'd like to say hello to some of you in the crowd. How we're going to do that is we're going to use our cameras.
Incident, people have flooded the internet recreating the same scene, with some saying that imagine losing your career and marriage to a kiss cam. The recreation are also making a lot of waves online. Here are some of them on your screens. And next up, we are tracking the most heartwarmingly humble story of a young boy born and raised in Uttarakhand in a family who used to guide pilgrims to Kedarnath Yatra. Now, this is a story of Atul Kumar, a 22-year-old who got into IIT Madras for the MSc in mathematics. He managed to self-study and achieved an impressive all-India rank of 649 in the IIT Joint Admission Test for the Masters in 2025. In fact, motivated by a desire to improve his family's circumstances, he began preparing for the exam in July after returning from his work in Kedarnath. You know what they say, with the support from friends and teachers, he studied diligently and proved that, in fact, the hard work eventually pays off. He didn't seek any fame. It ran after him with all the hard work that he put into his studies. We now have the man who achieved all this. Good evening, Atul. It's a pleasure to have you on this channel. We'll just go across to Atul, who will be joining us live on this broadcast. The guide who has, in fact, cracked the IIT exam. In fact, the man of the moment will be joining us in just some time. He is a guide. He, along with his parents, used to take pilgrims to the Kedarnath Yatra, and now look at him. He has cracked the IIT exam. He has taken admission in IIT Madras, and he will be pursuing his masters in mathematics there. And it's an amazing story that we've gotten for you this evening. Let me go across to Atul, who joins us live on the broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking to us. सबसे पहले आपको बहुत कंग्रेचुलेशन, कोई छोटी बात नहीं है जो आपने इतना बड़ा एग्जाम क्रैक किया है। आप पहले बताइए आपको लक कैसा रहा अतुल? All right, we'll try and reconnect that line with Atul. अतुल, अगर आप मुझे सुन पा रहे हैं तो आप हमें बताइए आपको कैसा लग रहा है। काफी बड़ा आपने एग्जाम क्रैक किया है। 649 रैंक लाना कोई इजी बात नहीं है। आप बाकी दर्शकों को बताइए कि आपको कैसा लग रहा है इस मोमेंट में। All right, we'll try and fix that audio with man of the moment, Atul Kumar, who has cracked that very hard exam and he has taken the admission in IIT Madras, and he has scored the rank of 649, and he will be in fact doing his MSc in mathematics there on the screen. You can see Atul there on the screen. Let me now once again go back to Atul. Atul, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा धन्यवाद। आपको congratulations। आप पहले बताइए आपको लक कैसा रहा है अतुल?
थैंक यू मैम, काफ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है मैम। अभी मैं वैसे आईआईटी मद्रास के हॉस्टल ही में बैठा हूँ अपने।
ओके, आप सीधा हमसे हॉस्टल से ही बात कर रहे हैं अतुल। अगर आप हमें बता पाए आपने किस तरह मैनेज किया, क्योंकि एक तरफ आप टूर गाइड थे केदारनाथ में, काफ़ी लोग वहाँ जाते हैं, और दूसरी तरफ आप पढ़ाई भी कर रहे थे। लोग जो आपको देख रहे हैं, बच्चे जो आपको देख रहे हैं, वो जानना चाहते हैं आपने कैसे की ये दो चीज़ मैनेज।
मैम एक्चुअली केदारनाथ का टाइम पीरियड अलग टाइम पीरियड रहता है, जो मई से जून के बीच रहता है, 30 से 45 दिन का। तो उस टाइम पीरियड में जाता था मैं केदारनाथ, क्योंकि सोर्स ऑफ अर्निंग वही था। तो उस टाइम पे पढ़ाई तो पॉसिबल नहीं थी, बट उसके बाद जो और टाइम बच जाता था, जैसे जून जुलाई का टाइम, तो उस टाइम पे मैंने प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करी थी। यस मैम।
एब्सोल्युटली। और किस तरह की कठिनाइयों को आपको फेस करना पड़ा? आप किस स्कूल जाते थे, वहां से किस तरह पढ़ाई करते थे? क्योंकि काफी लोग आपको देख रहे हैं, काफी बच्चे आपको देख रहे हैं जो ये एग्जाम देना चाहते हैं, वो जानना चाहते हैं कि किस तरह उन कठिनाइयों को आपने ओवरकम किया अतुल।
मैम मुझे लगता है कि हर किसी की लाइफ में अपनी अपनी बैटल्स होती हैं, हर कोई अपनी बैटल्स लड़ रहा होता है। किसी की फाइनेंशियल बैटल्स होती है, किसी इमोशनल होती है, किसी की अलग अलग तरह की बैटल्स होती हैं। तो मुझे लगता है कि कोई भी अगर आपने ठान ली है चीज़ें, तो रास्ते खुद बनते जाते हैं। बस कंसिस्टेंसी होनी चाहिए और चीज़ें खुद ब खुद हो जाती हैं। और मेरा जो इंटर हुआ है वो GIC बसुबेदार से हुआ है। उसके बाद मेरी BSc की जो एजुकेशन है वो गढ़वाल यूनिवर्सिटी से हुई है, हेमवती नंदन बहुगुणा गढ़वाल यूनिवर्सिटी श्रीनगर गढ़वाल से। वहाँ से मैंने BSc फिजिक्स मैथ्स और कंप्यूटर साइंस में करी। और लास्ट ईयर मैंने लास्ट ईयर से मैंने प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करी थी जुलाई से, क्योंकि जून के टाइम पे मैं केदारनाथ था और उसके बाद ही प्रिपरेशन पॉसिबल हो पाई थी। तो जुलाई से जनवरी तक मेरी प्रिपरेशन चली और फरवरी में मेरा जैम का एग्ज़ाम था।
ऑलराइट, और आपने हमें बताया कि आप IIT के हॉस्टल से सीधा हमसे बात कर रहे हैं। अभी तक आपका सफ़र कैसा रहा है वहाँ? किस तरह की आपकी वहाँ पढ़ाई चल रही है? आप MSc मैथमेटिक्स कर रहे हैं वहाँ पे, अपने सफ़र के बारे में बताइए अतुल।
एक्चुअली मैम आज ही मैं मॉर्निंग को चेन्नई आया था, तो आज बस हॉस्टल अलॉटमेंट का काम हुआ था। पढ़ाई हमारी जो एकेडमिक्स स्टार्ट होंगे वो 28 जुलाई से होंगे। अभी हमारा एडमिशन का प्रोसेस चल रहा है।
ओके, और आपके पेरेंट्स का क्या कहना है? क्योंकि वो बहुत ही खुश होंगे, कोई छोटा एग्जाम नहीं है और आपका रैंक बहुत अच्छा है, 649 आपका रैंक आया है। आपके पेरेंट्स कितने खुश थे इस चीज़ के बाद, उनका क्या कहना है?
बिल्कुल मैम, वो काफ़ी खुश हैं। और अभी तो ये स्टार्टिंग है। अभी मैं इस चीज़ को कहता हूँ कि मेरी जर्नी का अभी पहला स्टेप है। अभी आगे बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जो कि अभी करनी बाकी है।
एब्सोल्युटली। और आपको काफी लोग अभी देख रहे हैं, लाखों लोग इंडिया में आपको देख रहे हैं, काफी बच्चे आपको देख रहे हैं जो काफी एग्जाम का प्रेशर ले लेते हैं। अतुल, उनके लिए आपकी तरफ से क्या कुछ मैसेज रहेगा, किस तरह वो प्रिपरेशन करें और किस तरह इस प्रेशर को ओवरकम करें?
मैं उन बच्चों को एक ही चीज़ कहना चाहूँगा, कहीं ना कहीं मेरी कम प्रिपरेशन होने के बाद भी सिलेक्शन मेरा हो गया। तो उसका एक रीज़न ये भी है कि मेरे मम्मी पापा ने कभी प्रेशराइज़ नहीं करा मुझे, और एक प्रेशर कभी नहीं था मुझ में। मैंने चीज़ें अपने इंटरेस्ट से पढ़ी हैं, क्योंकि मुझे हमेशा आदमी को मतलब जिस फील्ड में उसका इंटरेस्ट हो उस फील्ड में करना चाहिए। और 14-14, 15-15 घंटे पढ़ना वो अपनी अपनी कैपेसिटी होती है, पर मुझे लगता है कि औरों की बातों में आके कि हाँ कुछ ने कह दिया कि इतने घंटे पढ़ोगे तभी हो पाएगा, तो ऐसा नहीं है। आपको जितने आवर्स पढ़ के जितने टाइम में समझ आता है उतना पढ़ना चाहिए, और प्रेशर लेके चीज़ें खराब ही होती है, सही नहीं होती है।
एब्सोल्युटली। एक और बार आपको कंग्रेचुलेशन एंड ऑल द बेस्ट आपकी फ्यूचर स्टडीज के लिए IIT मद्रास में। अतुल, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Now, hot off the plate and straight to your television screen, ladies and gentlemen, here are the top trending stories of the day. The infamous Annabelle doll is missing after the paranormal investigator was found dead in the hostel room. The exact reason leading to his death remains completely unknown. This is as far as the doll is concerned. And US President Donald Trump has geared attack on former President Obama, and this time it is with the AI-generated arrest video. And this video that you can see on the screen shows Obama being arrested by the FBI while Trump sits back and watches. And the Indian Army has announced that it will sponsor the education of a 10-year-old Shivan Singh who helped soldiers during Operation Sindoor. Shivan brought water, milk, tea and lassi to troops as they exchanged fire during Operation Sindoor. And now look at this. A herd of elephants stormed a Kawar Yatra camp near a temple in Uttarakhand after being provoked by the blaring DJ music and unruly crowds. The situation worsened when some of them started shouting and even attempted to film this animal that you can see on the screen. The drones have leveled up the rapid delivery system. A parcel was delivered within 2 minutes as the drone was seen descending slowly with the box hanging to it, leaving the onlookers completely amazed. After extending a grand welcome to Shiva devotees, Chief Minister of UP Yogi Adityanath and local administration officers decided to sharp petals on the yatris. Pink petals were shot in the city of Ghaziabad. During a performance at the Royal Opera House in London, a cast member staged an unexpected protest by unveiling a Palestine flag, and in response, the spokesperson for the Royal Ballet and Opera has labelled the protest as unauthorised and inappropriate, distancing this institution from the artist's political statement. African-British man has been slammed for eating chicken inside Govinda's and ISKCON vegetarian restaurant in London. The incident has caused worldwide outrage, and those are the visuals on your screen. A heated argument over 32,300 bridal lehenga erupted into chaos at a store in Maharashtra after Meghna Makija, fiancée of Sumit Sayani, stormed into the store, pulled out a knife and slashed the lehenga in front of the staff, and the outrage erupted due to the return and exchange policy of the product. The stranded British Royal Navy F-35B stealth fighter jet is all set to fly back to its base. The plane has been stranded in India for more than a month since it made an emergency landing near Kerala International Airport on June 4th over the technical glitch. American pop singer Katy Perry had to hold on to a cable after her prop malfunctioned, and this happened while she was performing above the crowd in a butterfly-shaped mobile. This incident that you can see on the screen briefly interrupted her performance on Friday, leaving her hanging mid-air. And Prada has denied violating the geographical indication, that is GI tag rights associated with the Kolhapuri chappal after featuring sandals inspired by traditional Indian footwear in its Spring-Summer 2026 menswear collection in Milan. And Team India met with the Manchester United football team on Sunday ahead of the fourth test match in the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy 2025. Indian skipper Shubman Gill and United Bruno Fernandes was also seen exchanging jerseys in this viral moment. The Chess World Cup will be held in India for the first time in 23 years. The duration of the event will be from October 30th to November 27th, and the host city for this event in the country is yet to be named. And a jaw-dropping natural wonder stunned onlookers in China as the tidal tree emerged. The surreal formation instantly reminded viewers of the scene from The Stranger Things. Many called this a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. In a major international space cooperation, the Indian Space Research Organization and the United States National Aeronautics and Space Administration are all set to launch the NASA-ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar, that is NISR mission. ISRO confirmed that the launch has been scheduled for July 30th from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota. India's heavy lift vehicle will ignite from launch pad at 5:40 p.m. IST for liftoff, with the most expensive joint mission between India and the United States. Donald Trump has once again taken a center stage, but this time it's not due to his political opinion, but because of the NFL sport. That sounds interesting, isn't it? We'll tell you more about what he exactly has said. Trump has said that one of NFL team Washington Commanders needed to change their name back to the Redskins. He also threatened to restrict the NFL team's stadium deal if they do not comply with this, even though it's completely unclear now how he would be able to do that in the first place. In fact, following that, Trump also put the pressure on Cleveland Guardians NFL team to change their name back to Indians, claiming that Indian people want the Guardians to be the Indians yet again. And people were quick to comment on Trump's statement, with one user going to say that it's a distraction from the Epstein saga, and Trump base definitely knows about this. And now shifting our focus to Indonesia, a terrifying incident unfolded on the coast of Indonesia. Passenger ship carrying 575 people caught fire on Sunday off the Telis Island. And according to the statements given by the Coast Guard, the ferry caught fire when it was on its way to Manado.
Sekarang di depan pulau.
Maju, maju, maju.
A total of 5 people lost their life in this accident, 2 of whom are yet to be identified by the Coast Guard. Meanwhile, rescue operations by Indonesia's Maritime Security Agency have safely evacuated 500 people from this spot. Now, authorities have launched a probe into the cause of the fire. Electrical faults, fuel leaks or engine malfunctions are some of the potential factors. And this is all we could pack for you in this bulletin of Trending at 7:30. We'll be back tomorrow with more such stories. Till then, keep watching Republic TV.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड, मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा। अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ। सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
मैं तनु क्या सी कि अब हमें सेकंड इनकम बिल्ड कर लेनी चाहिए और तुमने वापस म्यूचुअल फंड में पैसे डाल दिए।
ये फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स है।
मतलब
फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स मतलब चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेयरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स और मनी मार्केट विच इन्वेस्टमेंट मतलब रेगुलर इनकम विच वी कैन विड्रॉ फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम।
मतलब म्यूचुअल फंड में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार, विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
MDH
Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
By the way, I am quite sure पॉलिटिकल सवाल तो पूछूंगा ही। राष्ट्रवादी मंच है, न्यूज का मंच भी है, आप अमेठी वापस आएंगे कि नहीं?
बात कहूँ, आप ये सवाल मुझसे सालों साल से पूछते आ रहे हैं।
तो मैं नहीं पूछ रहा, आप लोग नहीं पूछ रहे ये सवाल।
वो तो तालियां बजा रहे हैं, सवाल आप पूछ रहे हैं।
अगली बार स्वीट रिवेंज होगी कि नहीं होगी?
मैं दर्शक जितने यहाँ बैठे हैं, आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट सभी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स हैं।
जी जी,
सबकी कहीं ना कहीं नौकरियां हैं
जी।
अगर आप लगातार अपनी नौकरी में 11 साल से ढंग से काम ना कर पाए तो क्या आपकी नौकरी रहेगी? उनकी है, इतना पावरफुल उनका इकोसिस्टम है।
नहीं, आप नौकरी लेने वाले हैं कि नहीं अगली बार? सवाल ये
नहीं, मैं आपको बड़ा गंभीर एक मुद्दा बता।
नहीं, मैं सीरियस सवाल
वो कैसे सर्वाइव।
ये वायरल मोमेंट है, आपको कहना पड़ेगा, आपको कमिटमेंट देनी पड़ेगी।
आप और मैं मंच पे आते हैं, वही वायरल मोमेंट है। और अगर आपको ग्लोबल वायरल मोमेंट बनाना है तो आप में और मध्य में मिस्टर गांधी हो जाएं तो फिर
गांधी जी के साथ में, ये राहुल बाबा के साथ 2014 में मैं बैठा था तो मैं तो चुप रहा पूरे इंटरव्यू।
मैं तो ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि पीछे से इशारे कौन कर रहा था कि क्या
इशारों की जरूरत नहीं है, वो अपने आप को इशारा करते हैं, वही एक इशारा है। वो तो कहते हैं मैं जिस दिन मैं जन्म, जो व्यक्ति ऐसे में मुद्दे से अलग जा रहा है,
आप मुद्दे से भटक गए।
जो व्यक्ति कहता है भारत, नहीं इस मुद्दे पर,
मैं उसी मुद्दे पे
नहीं, उन्होंने 2 बातें कही है। उन्होंने कही है,
आप इतना भावुक है राहुल जी के बारे में, मुझे बोलने नहीं दे।
मैंने भावुक नहीं हूँ, मैं कह रहा हूँ कि उन्होंने कहा जिस दिन मेरा जन्म हुआ, हमारा जन्म किसी घर में होता है, किसी है ना, किसी कम्युनिटी समाज में होती है। वो कहते हैं जिस दिन मेरा जन्म हुआ, मैं सिस्टम में जन्म हुई है मेरी, मैं समझ नहीं पाया। वो कहते जिस दिन मैं जन्म हुई है मैं तब से सिस्टम में हूँ। ये कौन सी विचित्र सिस्टम है?
नहीं, लेकिन अर्नब जी इसको हल्के में नहीं लेना चाहिए।
मैं नहीं लेता।
मैं इसलिए कह रही हूँ, हम सब यहाँ मजाक में हंस रहे हैं। आप सोचिए एक व्यक्ति का विश्वास कितना अडिग होगा कि उसको पता है कि वही सिस्टम है। ये कोई हल्की बात नहीं है। और उस व्यक्ति को ये पता इसलिए है क्योंकि बार बार सिस्टम ने उसे प्रमाण दिया कि हाँ तुम ही हो।
जी।
उस व्यक्ति को एक दिन भी संघर्ष नहीं करना पड़ा। वो व्यक्ति आज भी अडिग।
Bombay High Court acquits all 12 convicts
In 2006, Mumbai train blast sets aside the death penalty and life terms. Central Government Committee recommends 6 changes in the Udaipur files. Makers are ready to comply with the recommendations. Impeachment proceedings against Justice Yashwant Verma are set in motion. 50 NDA MPs sign the motion. Flight AI 2745 operating from Kochi to Mumbai experiences heavy rain during landing, resulting in runway excursion. After touchdown, the DGCA orders a probe.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया.
As opposition clamors for debate on Operation Sindoor, Prime Minister sets the record straight, says the operation was a 100% success. Satellite images suggest India struck Kirana Hills in Pakistan during Operation Sindoor.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम, रहो बेफिक्र.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar. Guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला. सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप.
ग्रेजुटी का चेक है, बस इन पैसों को हम कहीं इन्वेस्ट कर दें और रेगुलर इनकम भी आती रहे.
तो फिर फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डाल दीजिए. फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड और मनी मार्केट में पैसा डालते हैं और सिस्टमैटिक विड्रॉल प्लान के जरिए आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी मिलती रहेगी.
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है.
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है. योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें.
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना. MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल. ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े. क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
पूरी दुनिया ने भारत की सैन्य शक्ति का, भारत के सैन्य के सामर्थ्य का रूप देखा है. ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया. आतंकियों के आकाओं के घर में जाकर के 22 मिनट के भीतर भीतर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के तहत उसको जमींदोज कर दिया गया. और मैंने बिहार की एक कार्यक्रम में इसकी घोषणा की थी, जो हमारी सैन्य शक्ति ने बहुत ही कम समय में सिद्ध करके दिखा दिया. और इसमें मेड इन इंडिया सैन्य शक्ति का ये नया स्वरूप, इस पर भी दुनिया बहुत आकर्षित हुई है. इन दिनों विश्व के जिन जिन लोगों से मिलना होता है तो भारत के इस मेड इन इंडिया.
Explosive satellite images where Kirana Hills hit. Satellites catch what Pakistan attempted to hide. Is this why Pakistan ran to the United States? Debating tonight at 8 p.m. Convicts in Mumbai train blast case to walk free. Mumbai police watches Mumbai train blast probe. 189 dead, but no one responsible after 17 years. Debating tonight at 8:30 p.m. India disrupts parliament over Operation Sindoor debate. Government says it's ready for discussion on any issue. Will India's debate push on Operation Sindoor backfire? Debating tonight at 9 p.m. Explosive satellite images where Kirana Hills hit. Satellites catch what Pakistan attempted to hide. Is this why Pakistan ran to the United States? Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
I'm excited to be a part of the Republic AI Pre-Summit on July 25th, where we'll discuss India's AI lead, innovations, the impact, and the future of artificial intelligence in shaping a new India.
Hi, I'm Abhinav Agarwal, co-founder and CEO at Fluid AI. And I'm excited to be a part of the Republic AI Pre-Summit happening on the 25th of July. We're going to talk all things AI, innovations, the breakthroughs, what's India going to be like in this story. So be there. It's a build-up to the mega event, the Mega AI Summit. And I look forward to seeing you there.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, more proof of how Operation Sindoor was India's biggest and most successful military strike, which actually, and it's proven now, hit their nuclear base at Kirana Hills. At 8:30 tonight, the shocking verdict, where all the people accused in the 2006 Mumbai blast case will go away scot-free. At 9 o'clock tonight, different parliament session, same old template. Why debate Operation Sindoor? Republic is against such a debate. Now I know, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be a parliament session and there's a terrible decision to debate Operation Sindoor. I am against debating a military strike in a political setting. The nation needs to know, the nation knows. I am against trying to score political brownie points on the floor of the assembly. This is not the way it's supposed to be, but so it's turned out. So it's turned out. But I am glad tonight that for the Saboot gang, we have proof tonight that Operation Sindoor did not just sting Pakistan. We have proof tonight, we have sabut, that it scarred them. We have new satellite imagery that has emerged. And what does it show? It shows a fresh crater 150 meters from a Pakistani sentry post on the Kirana Hills. It's a place they guard like their life depends on it, because frankly it does. Let me explain why this is massive. Kirana Hills is not just some rocky outcrop in Punjab, Pakistan. It is Pakistan's nuclear nerve center. This is where they store their nukes. This is where they dig their nuclear bunkers, hide their nuclear warheads, and pray that India never finds out. But guess what we did? We found out, and India didn't need to say a word, because the message is already buried in an almost 500 feet deep crater right next to their nukes. And what is Pakistan doing? They're denying, deflecting, and ducking for cover. And while they stay silent, try to hide the fact that their nuclear base was hit. Their Air Force is still doing the repair work. Noor Khan Air Base damaged, Jacobabad hit, MM Alam under repair, Sargoda patched up like a broken bicycle, Falcons grounded, F-16 shelters rattled, radars fried, runways cracked. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pakistan's new identity. We call it Repairistan, but it gets better. Now remember, India's Air Marshal A.K. Bharti was asked if we struck Kirana Hills. He smirked and then he said, "Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hills houses some nuclear installations. We didn't know that. And we have not hit Kirana Hills." That, ladies and gentlemen, is strategic trolling with a straight face. Let me play this out again.
That Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installations. We did not know about it. And we have not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay. I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you. That Kirana Hill houses
now, ladies and gentlemen, that's where he says, I was not trying to hit Kirana Hills, but there was a smirk on his face, which means that he hit Kirana Hills, that we hit Kirana Hills, and it was just that he was not trying to say so on the record. And then after that, Lieutenant General Vinod Khandare, who's principal advisor to the Ministry of Defense during Operation Sindoor, also made a comment where he said, we're not trying to target it, but it got hit. Let me play that.
Talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned. In fact, a media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously, at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously, you didn't target. It got hit. And it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is the condition.
Was that the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me therefore put this in context. What does this mean? This means that this garbage being put through, that Donald Trump stopped the war, is complete and unadulterated stinking garbage. The war stopped because of Pakistan's phone call to America. And what caused Pakistan's panic-stricken phone call to America? Because we hit their nuclear base in Kirana Hills, of which we have proof tonight. When that happened, the Pakistanis ran begging Trump to call up India. So the root reason why our attacks and strikes stopped is because America requested us that, can you kindly consider stopping hitting their nuclear bases? And we had hit their nuclear base very hard. Now, no country is going to say we hit their nuclear base. So I am very glad today that tonight I come to you with fresh information and proof that we hit their nuclear base. It changes the entire theory of what happened between the 6th and the 10th of May 2025. Let's debate.
That is what Air Marshal Bharti had to say on May 12, 2025, hours after the ceasefire understanding with Pakistan.
Thank you for telling us that Kirana Hill houses some nuclear installation. We did not know about it. Okay. And we've not hit Kirana Hills, whatever is there. Okay, I did not brief in my briefing yesterday. Thank you.
On the intervening nights of May 9th and 10th, India hit Pakistan hard across a dozen air bases. From Sargodha to Rahim Yar Khan, to Noor Khan near Rawalpindi, to Rafiq, India dominated Pakistan's skies and its runways with satellite imagery confirming the carnage. Now, 2 months after Operation Sindoor, new satellite images from Google Earth are making headlines. Geointelligence expert Damian Simon has analyzed 2 images from Pakistan captured on Google Earth. He claims there are at least 2 impact craters on the Kirana Hills. Along with that, the expert also showed patched runways at the Sargodha airbase that also matched the impact craters earlier seen on satellite imagery post the May 10th strike. Kirana Hills, that is alleged to house Pakistan's nuclear arsenal, is barely 20 kilometers away from the Sargodha airbase. Questions are now being asked on whether India actually hit Kirana Hills as was reported earlier. Here is what Lieutenant General Vinod Khandari, former advisor at the Ministry of Defence's NSC Secretariat, told Republic just last month when asked about the mysterious Kirana Hill strike.
There was a lot of talk happening that the nuclear sites were also being targeted. Was that true? Did we actually manage to at least come very close or somewhere close?
Okay, you remember what the DG Air Ops mentioned? In fact, media person asked him that, did you target? And he said, you tell me. So obviously at the international level, are you going to say that you targeted? Obviously you didn't target. It got hit. And it put a lot of fear and apprehension in the mind of the people there as to what is the condition.
Was that the turning point?
Possibly, yes. Possibly, yes.
Was this the reason Pakistan caved in for a ceasefire understanding and ran to the US for help?
We stopped the nuclear conflict. I think it could have been a bad nuclear war. Millions of people could have been killed. India, by the way, and Pakistan would have been a nuclear war within another week, the way that was going. That was going very badly.
Whether India hit Kirana Hills continues to remain a mystery, with the Indian governmental denial, Pakistan's conspicuous silence and Trump's overt references, the fog of war on Operation Sindoor continues to remain thick.
पहला, भारत पर आतंकी हमला हुआ तो मुंह तोड़ जवाब दिया जाएगा। दूसरा, कोई भी ब्लैकमेल भारत नहीं सहेगा।
Now, General Bakshi is joining us tonight with Brigadier Waqar Hassan Khan and Adnan Haider, who's a Pakistani journalist from Lahore and Islamabad, respectively. Now, Brigadier Waqar Hassan Khan, the Pakistanis have been saying so far that India did not hit our nuclear base because India has not formally said that we have hit their nuclear base. You know, this is what the Pakistani argument has been, that Indian government has not formally said that we have attacked and struck your nuclear base, right? Can you hear me, sir? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Now what happens is that internationally accepted through highly placed domain experts shows that through satellite imagery, a huge hit for forming a big crater on Kirana Hills, right? And this imagery shows some patchwork being done on the runways of the airport, and that to cover a crater at the intersection of the runway, This is all internationally documented stuff, right? Which means we hit your nuclear base, causing you to go to the Americans, and hence the core reason why you went to the Americans was the hit on your nuclear base, which has now been analyzed through data from Google Earth, new authenticated satellite imagery, showing the site of India's attack through strikes, BrahMos or otherwise, on your nuclear bases. So I want you to comment on the fresh information which is in the global domain now.
I think I would like to join the Vijay Utsav as declared by Prime Minister Modi. And I think this is part of the phantasmagoria of monsoon session, and I would like to enjoy it. I have also, I think, a confidential news to share with you, because I come from Sargodha. And although I was in Turkey, but we have, our ancestral lands there, very close to Kirana Hill. There's a Chak 142. And Chacha Khan has a small cow shed there. And some of the cows have actually got bird flu. So I think there are some chances
I consider you not.
Yeah, some radiation.
I'm speaking to you like a Pakistani military officer. I'm not speaking to you like I'm speaking to anyone else. And hence my question is very technical and very specific and based on information. Now, I am not in a, this is not a funny thing for us or globally. And by trying to be amusing, you are actually deflecting my very serious question. So I'll go across to General Bakshi, who will bring the debate back on track. General Bakshi, maybe you want to bring the debate back on the evidence that has now emerged to the Brigadier.
Absolutely, Arnab, as your people did show us, Air Marshal Tiwari had done a denial of this hit, but the way he denied it left a lot unsaid. And there was intense speculation that the Kirana and Chagai hills have been hit. Arnab, you will recall that it was on your program that we first, said that this actually had been hit. Yours was the first channel to break that information when there had been official denials. The simple fact is there is a series of coincidences. On the night of 10th May, between 1 o'clock and about 3 o'clock, there were hits on the Chagai and the Kirana hills. There were a series of coincidences then, right? One, there was seismic event recorded 4.1 on the Richter scale at Kirana. Another seismic event an hour and a half later in the Chagai hills, 5.7 on the Richter scale, right? Now, this could have been, it was speculated, done because if a BrahMos missile had gone deep in, cooked off, radiological cook-off of some of the nuclear warhead, it could have created a seismic event of that magnitude, recorded the world over. Right, Arnab? Number two, next morning, a B-350 Beechcraft aircraft, which is used for monitoring radioactivity levels, flew over Chagai, Kirana, landed at Noor Khan, early morning, right? Fact number three, coincidence number three, an Egyptian IL-76 aircraft came via China. It was carrying a load of boron-10. Boron-10 is an isotope that is used whenever there is a nuclear reactor meltdown, like at Chernobyl, like at Fukushima, right? And that is the one that prevents the neutrons from coming out. It is mixed with polyurethane and thrown over the site from where you expect nuclear radiation leakage. That is the third coincidence, right? And now comes the confirmation. Maxar satellite imagery, globally credible, which is showing you a massive crater, 500 feet crater next to the Kirana hills. We had hit the entrance because very simple, on the night, the Pakistanis don't keep their nuclear warheads mated. That means the warheads are separate. The missiles, the 5 missile launching sites, including Pano, Aquila, Kara, etc. There's 5 sites. And the second mode of delivery is via modified F-16 fighter bombers, JF-17s, Mirage 5s, right? So these are modified for nuclear toss bombing. So when the Pakistanis on the night of 10th fired 2 Fateh 2 missiles and 1 Shaheen 2 missile, which can carry nuclear warheads. We had no way of knowing whether these had nuclear warheads or conventional warheads till they hit. As luck would have it, we fired our S-400s, Barak-8s, all 3 missiles shot down. 100% interception rate.
No, I think that is...
Just in case that they still tried to take out their missiles and made them with the warheads or the
There are therefore, General Bakshi, General Bakshi, there are 2 questions which emerge out here. One is the principle of strategic ambiguity, which of course, we would evade a question like this. The second point is, and I really think the Pakistani panelists should become serious, because the International Atomic Energy Agency was forced to come out with a clarification at that point of time. We will all remember that. And the other argument is that there is a Kirana hill. On one side of the hill, there is nothing of immediate value. On the other side of the hill are there tunnels. What is coming across here was that we struck Kirana Hills to send a clear warning shot. And what Damien Simon says, that this, along with the earlier imagery, does not indicate any subterranean impact or penetration, right? This hit on one side of the hill must have been a warning shot on India's past, a little away from the tunnels. So the message was going to Pakistan that we can penetrate you, we can go in, and we can hit almost your target, but because BrahMos is very precise, we would choose to hit a little away. And that, obviously, for the Pakistanis by now, Adnan, who were anyway on the back foot, they needed a reason to go to the Americans. And they told the Americans that, look here, India has come close to our nuclear tunnels. And that is the point when the Americans made the phone call. My question to you is, Adnan, very specific. Adnan, my question to you is very specific. Thank you. My question, please answer the question. See, my question is, assume we have not hit your tunnel, but we've hit like 50 meters away from it. Why could you not respond militarily? Why did you go to the Americans? Why could you not? Why could you not take a similar posture?
Let me clear.
What was the reason for it?
Let me clear this, because I have to leave in next 5 minutes. I have my live show. First of all, the Kirana site is not operational. It was closed in 1985. Please don't interrupt. I want to report. Just report. It was closed in 1985.
You're getting nervous.
And please told my Indian fellows, my Indian audience, that India attacked, as per General Bakshi, at midnight, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. of Pakistan time. And after that, we attack on India. If India attacks our nuclear site and we go to request to Americans to stop this war, then why we are going to attack you in the morning?
I am asking you precisely that. See, now that's a very good point that you made. See, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. See, one point here. One point. Adnan, I want to address your point. Can you please address? Can I tell you one thing? Please understand. The National Security Advisor of India, Mr. Ajit Doval, said the other day that why can't you give us one bit of proof that you hit anything? Noor Khan, which is in Chaklala near Rawalpindi, is your most strategic in terms of your strategic airlift operations, right? It is also the center of your strategic plans division, which oversees your nuclear arsenal. Do you think we are playing games here, Brigadier? If we are targeting Noor Khan, we are showing you that we will neutralize your entire facility. At that point of time, your military establishment comes under challenge. Should your military establishment not have even shown some ability to respond militarily? Instead of going crying to America, should you not have shown some competence?
We have to see the complete context of the war, if you allow me. And I think we should not be very selective in quoting sources. Like if you quote this article of Kirana Hill, he's also saying that Indian Air Marshal denied it. So whom to believe, Indians or let's say Western sources?
No. He
And why
didn't
don't
deny it.
you
What
believe?
did he say?
President
I'll
Donald
tell you what the Indian Director General Air
this is the
Operations
problem
said.
that when
The
we are-
Director General Air Operations said, "Thank you for telling me that there is a nuclear base in Kirana Hills." He didn't deny that he hit Kirana Hills. He denied knowing.
No.
It's like saying somebody bombs your home and says you don't know that you're living there. It's your home, obviously you're living
I'm
there.
not privy to the list of Pakistani and Indian, nuclear sites, and these are available, even on the internet. And I think also your DG, your Deputy Chief of Army Staff mentioned that thanks God we were spared this time because Pakistan did not target the civilian infrastructure.
This is your
Next
language.
time maybe Rajasthan, Tarapur,
This is your language.
Naroda, Kundakulok.
This is your language. Listen. I think you did not have the ability to.
We were aiming at
Tell me one thing. Tell me. I'm telling you. Why are the PL-15 missiles selling like scrap now? Because they fell in some. They fell so far away from their targets.
This is unfair.
No. I'm actually giving you military facts to a brigadier.
You can't be selective. There are 36 Indian bases.
Sir, I ask you this, Brigadier, one question to you. Why have you, sir, tell me one thing. For example, Shahbaz Air Base, Jacobabad, which is where you store your F-16, your military transport, why have you issued a construction contract out there for repairs?
It can't be selective discussion.
Not selective, sir.
Selective discussion.
Sir, Brigadier, simple point, you tell General Bakshi, I'll stay out of it. You can make a military point to it. You can make a military point to it. My question is to you, Brigadier. You tell General Bakshi, 1 minute, Brigadier, you tell General Bakshi one thing. You tell him, why has your government not denied the report which have been put by global geointelligence experts on India's hit on Kirana? Why have you not countered it?
For God's sake. Yeah, for God's sake.
Why have you not countered? No. Why go to God? You tell me.
Point is, उर्दू में कहते हैं कि जो मुक्का लड़ाई के बाद याद है उसको अपने मुंह पे मार लेने चाहिए।
आपको दुनिया भर के लोग बोल रहे हैं आपकी किराना हिल्स को हिट हुआ, आप एक स्टेटमेंट तो दे दें।
ट्रम्प हैज ओपनली
एक स्टेटमेंट देने में आपकी क्या जाती है?
बेसिकली
आप डिनाई कर दें।
इंडिया हैड लॉसेस, सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी
आप डिनाई कर दो।
कॉज ऑफ बेसिकली इंडिया रनिंग लाइक अ जैकॉल टू ट्रम्प।
अरे सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी को तो वो खुद सीरियसली नहीं लेते। सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी को तो कोई सीरियसली लेते ही नहीं है।
वो तो कह रहे हैं कि को आगे
है ही नहीं, he is in no position, neither will he be in any position.
For God's sake.
GD Bakshi, but why you tell GD Bakshi, no? GD Bakshi बोल अरे आप deny कर
look at your own opposition.
General Bakshi, why is he not denying? Why is he not denying? He's not denying.
I'm not denying it.
Brigadier, you can't deny because we hit Kirana.
And I'm just, I'm saying that my Chakkan said that some of the cows have got, bird flu. So maybe there are certain radiations, and if you want to prove that this was strike like Fordo, for God's sake, so maybe Chacha Chakkan Khan can, I think, confirm it.
All right.
Brigadier, we've heard you. Can I just interject? Brigadier, we've heard you. Can I just interject? When they told me a brigadier from the Pakistan Army was coming, I was looking forward to a professional discussion. I'm afraid the journalist was far more professional in his response. He raised a very pertinent point. When we fired the missiles after you had hit Kirana, sorry, the Fateh 2s, the Shaheens were fired between 2330 and 0010 hours on the 10th, right? You had hit first, and we had no way of knowing whether they had a nuclear warhead or not. We had achieved 100% interception rate, all 3 tactical ballistic missiles, and you would appreciate that. I don't know which arm and service you are from, but you seem to be more interested in cows and bird flu. We are talking military facts. Let's have a proper military discussion, a professional discussion. That's what I am asking. We have told you our facts. What have you got to deny? Why has your government not denied the hit on Kirana? In the Noor Khan, deeply buried, hardened command and control target, which was built by the General Electric Company of the United States at a cost of $500 million. Your entire C4I command network was there. Entire command and control of the Pakistani Air Force was there, including your nuclear command authority was also housed in the deeply buried underground target facility at Noor Khan, right? the entire satellite communications were down. That was a bunker which was designed to take a tactical nuclear hit.
Correct.
Right? And survive. It was EMP protected.
I thank General Bakshi for those facts.
You know how we hit it, Brigadier? There was an air vent for air conditioning 45 centimeters square. Did you know that our BrahMos cruise missile, supersonic, dived and hit through that air vent and blasted your command and control bunker at Noor Khan? That was the end of all your air operations. We had a free run over your skies thereafter. Can you deny that? Can you not accept facts as reality now?
No.
Last time you had claimed when we hit Balakot,
so I need to
killed
crows. So General Bakshi, I think that Brigadier Hassan Khan, I want to tell you that no disrespect to all the jokes that you made here, but this is very serious stuff. I will get you back on this moment you have more information on the satellite imagery which has emerged. And I think this proof is something which no military officer of any grade from any country, friendly or enemy country, can deny. So thank you very much, gentlemen. It's good to have that debate. And now, 6,950 days, that's how long it has been to that fateful day of 11 July 2006, when in a span of 11 minutes, 7 back-to-back bombs were detonated on Mumbai's local trains. I remember it. I can never forget that day. In 11 minutes, 189 lives were lost, 800 were injured, thousands of destinies altered. Ladies and gentlemen, today, it is with great sadness that I say that it's a shocking verdict that the people accused of the crime have been let off. This should never have happened. Let's debate.
189 dead, over 800 injured, and 19 years later, all 12 accused acquitted. This is the story of the biggest botch-up of a terrorism investigation in the history of independent India, at the forefront of which was Mumbai Police, the Maharashtra Police and the Maharashtra ATS. Today, the Bombay High Court acquitted 12 accused, 5 of whom had a death sentence in the 2006 Mumbai serial train blast case. Tearing the prosecution's case apart, the High Court said that the prosecution had utterly failed to establish the offences beyond a reasonable doubt, adding that it was therefore unsafe to reach to satisfaction that the accused had committed the offence. The Bombay High Court said this while acquitting the 12 men that were early held guilty by a trial court for carrying out 7 serial blasts within a span of 11 minutes on the 11th of July 2006 on Mumbai local trains. The entire investigation of the prosecution was hinged on 3 planks: eyewitnesses, recoveries, and confessions. On eyewitness, first, the police botched up by allowing the critical test identification parade to be carried out by an unauthorized officer, leading to many testimonies being thrown out. While in some cases, eyewitness statements were recorded after months, drawing their recall power into question. Shockingly, in the case, the police failed to establish link between the RDX recovery and circuit boards with the type of bomb used, as technical experts were never able to ascertain the kind of bombs used by the accused. The court also found some sections of the confessions of the accused to be identical, with DCPS even messing up correspondence on the offences of the accused. Apart from the shameful alleged copy-pasting, the police failed to establish the voluntary nature of the confessions with no proper documentation. Instead, it was the accused who established torture by the police in court and argued that the confessions were extorted. All the politicians in Mumbai are at a loss of words.
जो भी हाई कोर्ट की जो भी ऑर्डर है, ऑफिशियल ऑर्डर इशू होने के बाद माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय इसके ऊपर सरकार की तरफ से जो एक्शन लेनी जरूरी है वो एक्शन बिल्कुल लेंगे। और इस मामले में मैंने अभी कुछ बोलना उचित नहीं रहेगा। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री महोदय इस पे बोलेंगे।
आपल्या सगळ्यांकरताच हा निर्णय अतिशय शॉकिंग अशा प्रकारचा निर्णय आहे। अशा प्रकारचा निर्णय येणं हे निश्चितच धक्कादायक आहे। मी अजून काही पूर्ण निर्णय वाचलेला नाही, पण मी तात्काळ आपल्या जे काही वकील आहेत त्यांच्याशी चर्चा केली आणि त्यांना मी सांगितलेलं आहे की आपण सुप्रीम कोर्टमध्ये याला चॅलेंज केलं पाहिजे आणि आमचा प्रयत्न आहे की लवकरात लवकर सर्वोच्च न्यायालयामध्ये जाऊन या निर्णयाला आम्ही चॅलेंज करू.
बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट का जो वर्डिक्ट है, मैं उस वर्डिक्ट को एक मुंबईकर होने के नाते मैं एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकता.
सबसे बड़ी बात यह है ना, प्रोसिक्यूटर क्या कर रहा था, राज्य की जिम्मेदारी ज्यादा होती है. अब रही बात तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे जाइए.
Even the Congress, which was in power when the blast took place and perhaps oversaw the original investigation, is today pointing fingers.
राज्य सरकार से ये निवेदन रहेगा, क्योंकि राज्य सरकार के कहीं ना कहीं इसमें गलतियां हैं. राज्य सरकार की तरफ से ये फेलियर हुआ है कि जिस तरह से डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, एविडेंस और पीपी को प्रेजेंट करना चाहिए था उस तरह से नहीं हुआ है. तो आने वाले दिनों में जो है वो माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में ये केस जाए और सर्वोच्च न्यायालय में दाखिल होने के बाद इसका पूरा एविडेंस अच्छे से बनाया जाए.
The victims are completely distraught.
So something might have gone wrong in the High Court. We don't know what exactly.
Why you are in wheelchair?
I got a spinal cord injuries. At the age of 21, I got this injury. Then I was wheelchair bound. If you see the law of the land, justice is not delivered.
मैं चाहता हूँ कि ये देखो, ये हमारा लड़ाई है, वो आगे चलना चाहिए. सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक ये मामला जाना चाहिए. हमारे बेटी को तो नहीं मिला, हमारे साथ में हमारी बेटी के साथ जो और भी लोग गुजरे हैं उनको भी इंसाफ किसी को नहीं मिला ना. इंसाफ तो किसी को नहीं मिला.
The big question remains, who failed the thousands of victims of the 2006 Mumbai train blasts? The law, the politicians, or the Mumbai police and Maharashtra ATS?
This case proves that citizens in this country do not matter. Politicians all have a smile on their face. Have you seen that? PK Jain, today all the politicians, he must be his mistake, must be his mistake, must be his mistake. It's what I call a setting between all political parties. For them, this is good fodder for a BMC election, for a state government election. The situation will get polarized. But nobody is responsible. This country's collective failure is that 189 people died, and today we are told, PK Jain, nobody is responsible.
Absolutely, Arnab, thank you very much for having me here. I'm absolutely shell-shocked. I have never seen a verdict like this in which such a huge loss of life and limbs, and everybody goes scot-free. I mean, unless it is by design, I don't know what to say about it. Now, what happens is that if you want to find faults with any investigation, the investigation has stood the test of time before the special court that was trying this case. The trial court has convicted these people, some death sentences and some sentence for life. And suddenly here, after actually almost about 9 years, we have a reversal of judgment in which we find that everybody has been acquitted, and the High Court now says that there is not an iota of evidence against the accused. This never happens. Cases of this type are investigated very, very seriously, supervised very closely, and that is why before the trial court, which goes into the merits of the case, which goes into all the documentation that has been collected by the police, it bases its judgment.
Where is the will in any government?
Has convicted these people.
Where is the will today?
The trial court has convicted
where is
these
the
people.
will today? China and
see, once a judgment has come,
there is no fight. There is no fight here.
Go in appeal.
Nobody is going to go on the streets, China and see. Nobody is going to protest on the streets, China and see. Even BJP, even you, there is no anger today. If I open my phone lines, you'll feel the anger. Your anger is quenched because you are in power, China. It's just something on which you need to make statements. There is no anger. Ladies and gentlemen, today, the entire quote-unquote system has failed the citizen.
As a Mumbaikar.
No, but that is all soft responses as a Mumbaikar. I want to ask you, as a part of the ruling government, what do you think?
19 years down, yes. I think it's a very shocking verdict, and it's a very sad day for Mumbaikars at large. The Mumbai High Court acquitting 12 people, of which 189 people lost lives 19 years ago, 800 plus were injured. And what were we hoping, Arnab? We were actually hoping that 5 death sentences and 7 life imprisonments would be pronounced. And look at what.
No, but has it been your government's priority? You've been in power for long enough to change things. If the initial prosecution got it wrong,
if the
prosecution initially got it wrong, what did you do to get it right in the last 3 years?
Hello?
What did you do to get it right in the last 3 years?
Arnab, I can't hear you, but
I am
if I
saying,
can just
what
say
did
something.
you do?
Citing torture or unreliable witnesses or saying flawed identification parades or procedural lapses, all of that could be cleared. I mean, obviously, the administration, if they had put their heart, mind, soul into this case, I think we have failed beyond doubt.
No, why would they want to do that? Are you saying there's some appeasement politics going on?
And I think it's a very
what is the reason for it? Come to brass tacks.
in Maharashtra, and especially
Come to brass tacks. Why did the prosecution do a bad job?
synchronized.
No, 1 minute. So I think I've lost the audio line. The viewers, I want to make a point. You see, Waris, in our country,
And we know.
In our country, when you want to go after a common man, you put a common man in jail for 50 years without the slightest bit of evidence. I think the government at that time wanted to protect the accused. It's quite clear to me. Now, who was in government at that time? Akhil Swami, who was in government in that time in Delhi, in Mumbai?
Well, may I?
See, if I have to choose between media trial and the High Court decision, I will, whatever High Court has done, I won't raise any question on that. Let us go to Supreme Court and see that if the persons are involved, they should be punished.
No, there's nothing to see. Now, you said 19 years we waste. 19 years. After 19 years, you are saying go to the Supreme Court.
Accused should be punished. Malegaon, there should not be any laxity, and the Malegaon accused should be punished. I don't know whether they were accused or not, they were the real culprits or not. I do not know. Whatever High Court has done, I accept, I give honor to it. Go to Supreme Court, prove that they are guilty, hang them.
This is the approach of the Congress Party. Waris Pathan.
By the Congress government.
Waris
Pathan. This government is so incompetent. In your show, they are trying to prove that the Maharashtra government is incompetent. When the crime occurred is a different issue. When the judgment is pronounced,
when the crime occurred is not a different issue.
And you are saying that
Akhil, Waris, when the crime occurred is the most important issue.
No,
it is not, because the prosecution acts in the immediate aftermath of the event, collecting recoveries, eyewitnesses and confessional statements. The eyewitness testimonies are thrown out on the basis of technicalities that the Mumbai police at that time chose not to do well. So the police sometimes chooses not to do things well because it wants to leave some legroom, Waris Pathan. You all know, the police knows exactly on which flaw of theirs the accused can get away. That's what's happened here.
Well, Arnab, we welcome the judgment passed by the Honorable High Court today. We're acquitting the 12 accused persons who were.
But you will be the first person to oppose if the Malegaon case, Shrikant Purohit is let off. I will see your response on that day.
Merely on the basis of suspicion, they were arrested.
So merely on the basis of suspicion, you have put Shrikant Purohit, Colonel Shrikant Purohit, a uniformed officer, in jail for the longest time.
Says today, he should have been sent to jail. There is no evidence the prosecution miserably failed.
Yeah, and all the witnesses have gone hostile against Shrikant Purohit and Sadhvi Pragya.
Acquittal. Today, talk about today. Sadhvi Pragya.
I am talking about today. 187 people were killed. Who killed them? Who killed 187 people?
The also spoke about the Honorable for the ATS to inquire. Because of them, 12 people spent their 19 years of youth in jail. It is for the government and for the ATS to inquire where are those people who actually committed the crime. And because of them, today, Arnab, let me tell you who's going to compensate them. accountability must be fixed by the government of the day. Then how can you just keep some 12 people in the jail?
Okay, one minute, just one minute. I tell you, the then police commissioner, A.N. Roy, I have Ujjwal Nigam joining us right now. Ujjwal Nigam, now new Rajya Sabha member of parliament. I congratulate him. He's been a great special public prosecutor, senior public prosecutor, senior advocate.
The Honorable High Court also spoke that the torture theory is no.
Yeah,
Which you were saying is clear.
Listen to Ujjwal,
they were
Ujjwal
tortured,
Nigam.
forced, coerced to give confessions. That is why we say the MCOC and the UAP are draconian laws. And we objected for the UAP implementation. Whosoever was ruling that time, I make myself very clear.
Whosoever? Why don't you say who?
The first to say.
Why don't you say who?
The UAP
What do you mean whosoever?
If you bring about the
Ujjwal Nigam, we come to the moot point. Did the Congress, NCP, did they come together? Did they come together to provide an easy route to the accused in the 2006 Mumbai serial blast case? Ujjwal Nigam, please.
Arnab, really I'm shocked to learn about the acquittal of all the accused person in this case. But quite apart, it's the judgment of the Bombay High Court. But let me tell you very frankly that when the investigation was on and when the charge sheet was filed against this accused person, there were two different divergent theories were emerging. The first theory that was emerged by ATS, of which the accused were arrested, and the second theory, which was emerged from the crime branch of Mumbai police, that some other Indian Mujahideen is behind the rail blast. I'm not on that. What I'm observing is a lack of communication between the two different agencies, and there was no proper control by the appropriate authority over these two agencies. This is the mess of the investigation, number one. Number second, I have really pains to note that why this appeal against conviction had taken a long time. This is number one. Number two is when we prefer appeal against acquittal, again that appeal against acquittal never comes to the High Court in the time. It will take us. So now from this judgment, I think government has to develop such mechanism that either appeal from acquittal or appeal from conviction, it should be decided within a minimum period of 1 year. This is number one. So while the present case is concerned, I have not gone through the entire judgment. I am now traveling in a car. But since you have called me, therefore I'll join this show. But the judgment, the court not only disbelieved the evidence, but the court has raised certain mute question. Now we have to check out the entire evidence which was marshaled in the trial court. So I can't comment at this juncture upon the quality of the evidence.
One point to you, Ujjwal Nigam. This is not a botched up. It's a crazy prosecution, very bad prosecution. What action should be taken, if any, against the people who botched up the evidence? Why should there be no accountability and who was in government and who was running the police at that time?
Yes.
I totally agree with you. But this would be a very bold step to say like that. Because unless the whole evidence is scrutinized and how this evidence, of course, the government of Maharashtra also should set up inquiry in this matter. Because why this has happened like this?
Sir,
because
how can an unauthorized officer carry out the test identification parade without the police knowing that if they allow an unauthorized officer to carry out the test identification parade, this can become a fantastic ground for the eyewitnesses to be thrown out and the case to be closed.
In this case.
I'm trying to say someone's managed it from the back. Someone has managed this from the back. You know?
Who's that person?
How you tell me? Who was the Home Minister? Shivraj Patil. Who was the Home Minister in Maharashtra? R.R. Patil.
People lost their career, lost their future, present, everything. 12 families shattered, Arnab. Who are those people responsible for the blast because of whom this innocent people's life got shattered? Their family's life got shattered today.
PK Jain.
The Bombay High Court clearly said there is no evidence.
There was a conviction already in place.
It is only that in appeal that the entire case has been thrown out. There was a conviction. If you are talking about that there was no evidence, these people were innocent, then trial court is not a fool that they've given a conviction in this case.
No, I tell you here, this is proof of one thing. This is proof of one thing. This is proof. This is proof, Kishore Tiwari, that people don't matter in this country. People don't matter. You are busy going around beating people on the roads for not speaking Marathi. But why doesn't Uddhav Thackeray carry out a march in Mumbai against this verdict? Will he lose the Muslim vote? That's why. Why doesn't he go to the Muslim-dominated areas of Mumbai and make a speech about how he's against this verdict?
So true.
Arnav, if you look at the decision of the trial court,
And you know why not?
I think
Because they have sternly
Shana, he has asked me. Let me speak, Shana. This is the unfortunate decision. This is if you ask PK Jain, this is a complete failure of a prosecution in a higher court.
No, it is not. It is not.
I think if the trial court convicts the people and giving a death sentence, and the whole batch of the convict are released, then the responsibility lies with the state. The prosecution should admit that.
No, but are you saying that Uddhav Thackeray is too scared to make a comment on it?
If we look at the usual...
Why is Uddhav Thackeray too scared to make a comment on it? Yeah, Waris?
Arnab, because they
The advocate who was representing the accused at that stage in 2006, Shahid Azmi, he was also murdered. What is the reality? Let the truth come before the nation. The nation wants to know the truth or not. I mean, that is the thing. Can you not say Shahid Azmi was murdered, who was representing this accused in the courts?
Arnab, can I please...
2006, I'm talking about that.
Shaina is countering you. Shaina.
The judges concluded...
That is also a reason.
Look, we have the courage of conviction to say that the judges concluded that the prosecution had utterly failed to prove the case beyond reasonable doubt. This is a slap on the people of India, the people of Maharashtra and the people of Mumbai who lost 189 people in this attack where you had 7 consecutive blasts. We have the conviction and the morality as well as the political will to say we will challenge this order in the Supreme Court. What has Uddhav Thackeray done? It's only vote bank politics. Is there one statement which has come out after all these 12 men have been acquitted
for committing the blast? These people are now innocent. They have been declared innocent. They have been given a clear acquittal by the Honorable High Court. Now, where are those actual people who committed this crime because of 189 people died? What was your prosecuting agency doing? What is the ATS doing? They must go and catch hold of those people responsible for them.
And there were procedural lapses. You continue to play your vote bank politics, sir. You play your vote bank politics. The judgment came, yes, because we will go to the Supreme Court. 19 years on after the bombings, which involved 7 synchronized explosions targeting, forget the people in every compartment in the Western lines.
Few of them lost their parents, some of them families, the 5 children everywhere are scattered.
We will fight
because of the few people who arrested them.
Waris, more people died. Shaina, I think for many people, because people have a short memory nowadays, I want to remind you, we were in Mumbai when we just that year we started.
Remind them.
And when this happened, I want to remind people, more people died in this attack than in 26/11.
Devendra Fadnavis should resign.
I'm on TV.
And Congress party, which is responsible for the prosecution.
Well, those who responsible.
Devendra Fadnavis should
resign. The prosecution was done by RR Patil, NCP and Congress or Devendra Fadnavis?
Devendra Fadnavis
who is responsible for the shady investigation? You do shoddy investigation.
What? 1 minute. You Congress party only play your vote bank politics. Devendra Fadnavis has said in 5 minutes that we will go to the Supreme Court and we will challenge this. And we will get the facts in case and of 19 years on.
What about the 19 years lost by the innocent people, Arnab, because of their foolishness?
Sure.
Merely because of
greatest irony in this country, the greatest irony in this country, that those who were held responsible, all the 12 convicts, all the 12 convicts in the 2006 Mumbai blast case have been let off, but the case continues against Sadhvi Pragya and Colonel Shrikant Purohit. What an irony. What hypocrisy. We'll track this. Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm back at 9 o'clock, why personally I'm completely against a debate in Parliament on Operation Sindoor. I'll make my points when I'm back.
For a quick breather, Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
By the way, I am quite sure पॉलिटिकल सवाल तो पूछूंगा ही। राष्ट्रवादी मंच है, न्यूज का मंच भी है, आप अमेठी वापस आएंगे कि नहीं?
बात कहूँ, आप ये सवाल मुझसे सालों साल से पूछते आ रहे हैं।
तो मैं नहीं पूछ रहा, आप लोग नहीं पूछ रहे ये सवाल।
वो तो तालियां बजा रहे हैं, सवाल आप पूछ रहे हैं।
अगली बार स्वीट रिवेंज होगी कि नहीं होगी?
मैं दर्शक जितने यहाँ बैठे हैं, आई थिंक ऑलमोस्ट सभी वर्किंग प्रोफेशनल्स हैं।
जी जी,
सबकी कहीं ना कहीं नौकरियां हैं
जी।
अगर आप लगातार अपनी नौकरी में 11 साल से ढंग से काम ना कर पाए तो क्या आपकी नौकरी रहेगी? उनकी है, इतना पावरफुल उनका इकोसिस्टम है।
नहीं, आप नौकरी लेने वाले हैं कि नहीं अगली बार? सवाल ये
नहीं, मैं आपको बड़ा गंभीर एक मुद्दा बता।
नहीं, मैं सीरियस सवाल
वो कैसे सर्वाइव।
ये वायरल मोमेंट है, आपको कहना पड़ेगा, आपको कमिटमेंट देनी पड़ेगी।
आप और मैं मंच पे आते हैं, वही वायरल मोमेंट है। और अगर आपको ग्लोबल वायरल मोमेंट बनाना है तो आप में और मध्य में मिस्टर गांधी हो जाएं तो फिर
गांधी जी के साथ में, ये राहुल बाबा के साथ 2014 में मैं बैठा था, तो मैं तो चुप रहा पूरे इंटरव्यू।
मैं तो ये जानना चाहती हूँ कि पीछे से इशारे कौन कर रहा था कि क्या
इशारों की जरूरत नहीं है, वो अपने आप को इशारा करते हैं, वही एक इशारा है। वो तो कहते हैं मैं जिस दिन मैं जन्म, जो व्यक्ति ऐसे में मुद्दे से अलग जा रहा है।
आप मुद्दे से
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer. To create the big dream, the world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
Play it your way. Sarah, this is your space, play it your way.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
भारत की अपनी दुकान, इंडिया सोना,
अपने देश का सामान, इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा, जीरा सिप।
पूरी दुनिया ने भारत की सैन्य शक्ति का, भारत के सैन्य के सामर्थ्य का रूप देखा है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था, 100% अचीव किया। आतंकियों के आकाओं के घर में जाकर के 22 मिनट के भीतर भीतर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के तहत उसको जमींदोज कर दिया गया। और मैं